Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Sam Nigga here representing TeamJVS. Here you guys, another review from TIFF 2025, and I'm talking about the 50th anniversary of Toronto International Film Festival. This film I'm talking about is Gus Van Sant's film, Dead Man's Wire. So Dead Man's Wire, if you don't know, this is based on an actual event that happened in 1970s, where Tony Kiritsis, the disgruntled employee, gets one of his boss's son on a wire, and it is basically connected to a sawed-off shotgun to the back of his head. And he proceeds to get his demands and needs attempted to be met based on his accusation that they did him dirty. This is starring Bill Skarsgård by the role of Tony Kiritsis, Dacker Montgomery from Stranger Things as Richard Hall plays the son of Al Pacino, who is M.L. Hall. Got Coleman Domingo playing a role of Fred Hickman, who is one of the radio broadcaster or the voice of the city, as it were. Got Mahala that plays the role of Linda Page, who is one of the reporters reporting on the scene, and Carrie Elwes that plays the role of Michael. And honestly, Carrie is unrecognizable. I do not recognize him. I mean, between him and Dacker, like both of them, I really don't recognize. But I'll get into it. So what did I think about this film? I think this film is amazing. Really. I actually do think that they were able to do something that I did not anticipate, make something as menacing, terrifying of a circumstance without overly flooding it with dread. What I mean by that is, most times when you have like a kidnapper situation, like, I mean, if you take like a John Q situation, even with John Q, there's some moments between the second and third act, it's just terrifying. And it's a real world situation. But then, you know, the second act, between certain moments, there are fleeting moments of joy and whatnot. And then you could have as bad of a kidnapping situation as it can be, and it's just complete dread. With this, but they do something very interesting. This is all for the whims and the acting control of Bill Skarsgård. He makes Tony an appealing character because you can tell how off-kilter Tony truly is, and at the same exact time, he may be a good person. One of the interesting quotes that I think that they used is that Tony as a character is someone that you would really like to be a friend to and be a good friend and a devoted one, but you do not want to make an enemy of Tony. And that is to a T. So when you see him like talk about his like love for Coleman Domingo's character Fred, and like how he's the voice and he's so honest and like he would love to meet him and all this kind of stuff, like you can tell the sincerity about him. But then when you hear him talk about specific strategic things that aren't right to him, regardless if it's right or wrong, like he sounds very devoted to that and very willing to go whatever distance that looks like. So very emotionally and mentally off. It's almost like you're dealing with two different people, to be quite honest with you. And that is a very controlled performance, because in the moments that he does that back and forth, there's also comedy elements. There may be a moment where he's going and trying to do something and he falls, or he's doing something and it's like, oh crap, that messed up. Let me go fix that real quick. Oh, hey, are you parched? Let me give you some water, while he's got somebody like change up. And I, to be honest with you, if he was trying to be the Joker, he's won me with this performance. And as much as that sounds weird, because like, oh yeah, this, which is those unseemly moments without any kind of like visuals, he has those cues of a possible deranged that goes back and forth, and he does it really well. Now, with Mr. Montgomery playing the role of Richard Hall, he plays such a good job. Like, because he has to be the victim. He has to be the person that this is all happening to. And every single scene, from the moment you see him to the moment that the movie ends, he goes through a very interesting metamorphosis. His understanding of life or death changes very quickly. And he goes through all these different levels of emotions and dread just based on the circumstances happening to him. And I think that he plays it very well. He's got a really good read on what the character should be. And I think his relationship, his chemistry with Bill equally is a good measure with that. When you get to Al Pacino, and Al Pacino's character comes up here, he is next level. And it's not even like he's on screen for very long, but when he is on screen, you feel it. And you feel like these men have like a really broken relationship. And it's very interesting. And then when you have Colton Domingo in this, when he's on scene, like he's just like the coolest cat ever. And I love that for him. Mahala's character, Linda, is the reporter. I think she plays like this really good, innocent, like up and coming star that's really trying to deal with the broken circumstance of, you know, being a black reporter in that kind of era, in that circumstance. And she does it really well. Like, I think she is definitely a shining light. Whenever she's on screen, she does it really well. But Carrie as Michael Gable, I don't recognize him. It's really, truly unrecognizable before. Like, I did not know that was him. And he did it really, really well. But as far as the actual story as to what Gus Van is trying to do with this, he gets every single point across. Like, it's palatable. You can see what's going on. They have fun with it. They take breaks where there's moments of levity, and then there's moments of seriousness, and there's moments of dread, and then they go back and forth with that. And to be able to find tone, like balanced tone with that, that is amazing feat to do. Like, I'm really surprised how well he was able to actually get this working without it being like a dread to watch. This is one movie that I would rewatch all over again. And based on the subject matter of what I described, literally it's about a man that is a disgruntled employee taking the son of his boss and, you know, rigging a wire for him to have a charred-off shotgun at any given moment that could blow his head off. That sounds deranged. That doesn't sound appealing or anything you want to see, but they make it that. So, highly recommend you go and check it out. If I had to give it a rating, it'd be an 8.5, maybe a 9 out of 10. I actually really did enjoy this film. So, hopefully y'all enjoyed this review and y'all have something to look forward to in Dead Man's Wire. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.